Before we chat, let's first catch up on Dundalk's Europa League first round second leg tie against Grevenmacher of Luxembourg at Oriel Park last Thursday. Eamon Donoghue now reports.
European football was back at Oriel Park for the first time in 19 years, and after letting slip a two-goal lead last week, carnival atmosphere was somewhat subdued to begin with. It didn't take long to ease any tensions. Kidazovic flashed his shot over early on. Dundalk set the agenda for most of this one, and a cross from the left from Ross Gaynor had the visitors on the back foot. The throw-in which resulted from that clearance led to Tiernan Mulvena finding Kidazovic in the area. He was fouled, resulting in a 5th-minute penalty. Ben tucked away the spot kick to make it 4-3 on aggregate. Dundalk doubled their advantage 14 minutes later. Fenn and Kidazovic were tormenting the Grevenmacher defence and combined once again for Kidazovic to score. With any nerves now settled, Dundalk really went at their opponents as they looked to kill the tie off before half-time. A move beginning and ending with Neil Fenn almost brought a third. Grevenmacher were able to overturn a 2-goal deficit last week, but they were not to be taken lightly. Adrian Bauer clipped the ball over the advancing Matt Gregg. Gary Breen was on hand to clear the danger. Ben was proving near impossible for the visitors to handle. He went in search of another. Mark Fleming saved, not pretty, but effective. Stephen Maher has plenty of European experience from St Patrick's Athletics Odyssey last season. This move ended with a penalty claim. The referee not interested in his protests. A glimmer of hope for the visitors came late on when they pulled one back. Frontman Bauer raided forward. He fed Christian Muller and he beat Matt Gregg at his near post with that neat finish. 2 goals still needed for them to progress, and when they may have been urged on, that was as close as they came. 2-1 on the night, 5-4 on aggregate to Dundalk, and they progressed past the first round in Europe for the first time since 1981.
So Dundalk safely through, as we see here tomorrow. Bohemians are in action at Dalymount Park against TNS in the Champions League second qualifying round. First leg, just make a note of that kick-off time, 7 o'clock. Then into the Europa League, 3 matches. Dundalk's reward, a game in Bulgaria against Levski Sofia. Sporting Fingal also away in the first leg in Madeira against Maritimo from Portugal. And Shamrock Rovers at home on Thursday night to Beni Yehuda of Israel. And that game with an 8 o'clock start at Tala Stadium this coming Thursday evening. Roddy, it's job done, I suppose, as far as Dundalk are concerned. We'll talk about the Europa Cup in a moment. Let's just concentrate for a second on the Champions League. Bohemians against TNS. Yeah. Would you expect Bohs to go through?
You would. I mean, the Welsh League is not a strong league. Now, they will throw up a team every year, like Barry Town were full-time one year. Apparently this team is full-time. They're in the right end of Wales. It's up around the catchment area of Liverpool and Manchester, where they pick up good, decent professional players. But taking into consideration Bohs' progress over the years, league champions, experience in Europe, the players they have, it's never easy, but you would be very confident Bohs will go through this.
And I suppose, Pat, from a financial point of view, whatever about the glory, it's a huge factor when it comes to these European games.
Yeah, I think it's probably the best draw that Bohs could have got at this time, and I think the other big thing for the Irish clubs is the coefficient, which is important. So it's important that they do get a result there, so that we go up the ladder again, and they're the big things they must consider. But as Roddy said, I mean, there'll be no pushovers. I mean, I was lucky enough to play in a Champions League game against Cumbrain, and we were very lucky to go through, and we thought we'd nothing to do bar turn up, and it ended up 4-4. We went away and went through and away goals.
So it's no,
not at all. No, and you got to look at the bigger picture here, and knuckle down, get the result first, and then worry about the next round.
Yeah, Tony, when you look at the Europa League ties now, Levski Sofia, Maritimo, and this side from Tel Aviv, Beni Yehuda, it's not easy for any of the Electricity League teams there, I suppose.
Difficult sides, Con, but I think, you know, from their perspective, and particularly from the Dundalk's perspective, they weren't in that competition at the start of the season. The win and progressing through the competition, I think it gives them 90,000 to play with in the July transfer window, August transfer window, where they can sign players. So, I mean, they can push on from there and use those finances to help them try and go for a European spot this year, which is how they, you know, they were starting their stall out at the start of the season. I think two very difficult ties for Sporting and Rovers as well. Difficult to know how they'll get on. We don't know an awful lot about the teams, but it's great for them, gives them a good opportunity, and it's great for the league. And we always felt that it would be only after a few years of competition that you would see how Irish clubs progress. So it's difficult to call how they'll go, but we've had a few years now with our sides playing in Europe, and that has to stand to the teams.
It'd be nice to think that at least one of them might progress in the Europa.
Well, it would. And talking about progress in Europe and progress generally in football, we've seen it in the World Cup. The different styles of football that's coming to the fore, like that we've seen the Spaniards yesterday, we've seen the English 4-4-2, and I think at this particular moment, Sporting Fingal will be the best equipped to progress, not this year, but if they continue in the vein that they're going and the way they play the game. It's about possession, and when you go to European football, as Pat will tell you from being in Europe, possession is vital, not to give it away. And it'll be, hopefully Fingal can keep progressing as a league team, and then you'll see them in a European